the NBA on CBS. Today's game is sponsored by Light Beer, everything you always wanted in a beer and less. All the new 1978 Chevrolets now at your Chevy dealers everywhere. And by the new Gillette Atra Razor, the impossible shave.
Welcome to the Memorial Coliseum in Portland, Oregon, where you're about to see if the world champion Portland Trail Blazers can keep alive one of the most amazing streaks in the history of professional sport. They have not yet lost a home game in their last 45 encounters, including all of their home games this season. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Brent Musburger along with Keith Erickson. And Keith, I think we just packed up the All-Stars down in Atlanta and brought them right up here to Portland.
This is a mini All-Star game here today, Brent, with David Thompson out here, one of the two most exciting players in professional basketball, along with Julius Erving, going against the Trailblazers, and Bill Walton, probably the best team basketball player in the world today.
All right, let's check in now on the lineups as they go out to center court. Our referees are Bob Rakel and Don Murphy, and of course, by now you should be rather familiar with the starting cast for Jack Ramsey's world champion Portland Trailblazers. There's the big redhead out in the center, Bill Walton. He'll be flanked by Gross and Lucas up front. Hollins and Davis will be starting in the backcourt. And for the Denver Nuggets in their road blue uniforms, Bobby Jones, Danny Issel, David Thompson, Bobby Wilkerson, and Mac Calvin. The backcourt controlled by the Blazers in their home white, and here they come. 45 consecutive home victories, 12,666 on hand, another sellout. Bobby Jones got a hand on it and knocked the ball out of bounds. We should get into Bobby Jones right away, Keith Erickson. You had a long talk. He's bothered by a couple of physical problems.
Well, one thing is he's got a rapid heartbeat, which he has to take medicine for before every game in practice. The other thing is he's had a couple of epileptic seizures recently, which he is taking medicine 3 times a day for. So he's a little bit shaky. You know, that medicine affects him a little bit during these games.
Coach Larry Brown said sometimes he has trouble communicating. On the break, the turnover, it is Wilkerson putting Denver ahead. Also, keep in mind that the Denver Nuggets are the only team in the NBA with a winning record against the champions. 1-0, that game in Denver. Nice block by Jones. Now, here come the Nuggets again. Thompson's in the middle. Lanes are filled for the break. Got away from David, and now they'll have to set one up. Here's Mac Calvin. Whistle goes down. Walton, Calvin dishes, and Davis is there.
That's the presence of Bill Walton.
Hollins waits and turned it over. And Walton right away wants to use a timeout to get things together.
That's a good move right there. The Blazers haven't done anything out there at the start of the game, thrown the ball away 2 or 3 times. Jack Ramsey wants a timeout to get things together here.
Could Gillette make a razor that does the impossible? Yes. Could it shave closer with even more comfort? Yes. Gillette introduces Atra, the first razor with a pivoting head that safely follows every contour of your face. This Atra face-hugging action keeps the twin blades at the perfect angle. You've never shaved this close with this much comfort.
Impossible.
The new Gillette Atra razor. Yes, it's the impossible shave.
The new Monza by Chevrolet. For a car so sporty and so well equipped, it's priced surprisingly low.
We're the Van Arsdales, Tom and Dick. We're identical twins. And we drink identical beers. Light beer from Miller. We love it. The best thing about light beer is it's great filling. Great taste. Less filling. It's got 1/3 less calories than the regular beer. Great taste, Tom. Less filling. And I'm not Tom. You are. I'm Dick. You think you are, but you never were.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer and less.
Keith, Johnny Davis starting in the backcourt instead of Dave Twardzik. You checked in with Ramsey on that.
Well, evidently, Dave Twardzik had a viral infection a couple of games ago and was a little weak from that. And then he took a spill 2 games ago, landed right on his tailbone. And it's extremely, you see him sitting very delicately there on the bench.
Hollins now picks up Wilkerson, number 32. Here's Jones and Lucas on him. They go cross court to Thompson. Had to get out of bounds to save it, and so he had no room to pass. And on the turnover, here is Davis maneuvering in. Bobby Gross.
That's a beautiful offensive play, Brent, but down at the defensive end, I think the Trailblazers are about the only team they can't run, that the Nuggets can't run that backdoor lob pass for David Thompson for, because Bill Walton sees it coming, and he's such a great defensive player.
And there, Keith, was an example of what Thompson has to do to compensate, is shoot outside. McCalvin hits it for Larry Brown's Denver Nuggets. And sometimes, well, Thompson is not one of the best outside shooters in the league. I guess you'd prefer him to shoot out there than inside on that slam dunk is with the alley-oop pass.
No question about that.
Here's the big redhead up on Danny Issel, and Walton puts it down. Isn't it interesting, Keith, that there's not a single player on the Trailblazers averaging 20 points a game? It shows you how meaningless scoring statistics are for individuals. It's what you do as a team. Now they come down. Hollins checks his right shoulder. No one behind him. Forced to pass it off, and there was a 3-second violation. You could hear Bob Rakel call it out loud and clear.
Now, Lionel Hollins had the ball in the lane that time. Held the ball up. He should have taken the shot right away. Maurice Lucas was cutting to the basket and was waiting for the rebound at that point, and then he was in the key for 3 seconds.
Here's a surprise. The New Jersey Nets beat the New York Knicks this afternoon, 112 to 110. Thompson. Walton controls the defensive end, and here is Hollins. So the Nets working a streak for Kevin Lockery. Bobby Gross for the Portland Trailblazers. 9:36 to go. First quarter from Portland, Oregon. It is the Blazers 6 and the Denver Nuggets 4. Portland has not lost at home since last March. McCalvin controlled again by Walton. Outlet in the middle, Gross on the move, and Davis at the cutter to the hole. Great block by Jones. McCalvin now. Pressure for Brown's Nuggets. Thompson off to the corner. It's Wilkerson. And again it is Walton. 3 quick defensive rebounds for Bill. Lucas outside. So we've got a timeout in Portland with the Blazers leading Denver by 4.
If you use a dandruff shampoo, here are 3 new reasons to switch to Selsun Blue: dry, normal, and oily. Now Selsun Blue comes with extra conditioners for dry hair, with extra cleansers for oily hair, properly balanced for normal hair. All with a fresh, clean, new fragrance. So now Selsun Blue can do what no other shampoo can: give you really effective control of dandruff in the formula designed for your type of hair.
The important thing is Sylvania beats Zenith.
And as you can clearly see,
Sylvania beats RCA.
now here's the way it
Sylvania beats Magnavox and Quasar and Sears. That's right. Recently, over 1,000 people saw 6 unidentified 25-inch color pictures side by side. Then they picked the best overall picture, and the clear winner was the Sylvania Superset. So get the picture that beat them all. The Sylvania Superset. Side by side, we beat them all.
Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet.
Come and get it, America. Chevy's new size, quick size, mid-size Malibu is here. And it's so right in so many ways for so many people right now, you'd think it had been designed by John Q. Public himself. It's going the way America's going today. A fresh new slice of apple pie from who else but Chevrolet.
A fresh new slice of apple pie from Chevrolet to you. A fresh new slice of apple pie called Chevy Malibu.
Welcome to those of you who watched the New Jersey Nets beat the New York Knicks 112 to 110. Here in Portland, 8 minutes and 55 seconds to go in the first quarter. 8-4, the world champions lead the Denver Nuggets, and it has been exciting team basketball by the Blazers.
That it has been. I'll tell you, these two teams are great. This play is one of the most exciting plays you'll see, one of the prettiest plays in basketball. Walton getting the rebound before he hits the floor, getting out to Bob Gross, who makes a beautiful lead pass to Johnny Davis, going in, and watch Bobby Jones come back and just block this shot beautifully. What a fantastic play.
All right, I'm Brent Musburger alongside Keith Erickson, and we're in for some exciting action here with Denver against Portland, and the Blazers shooting for their 45th consecutive victory here in Portland. David Thompson hits Wilkerson, who's the open man who broke free.
That's going to happen. The Blazers double-teamed David Thompson that time and kept him from driving the basketball, which they want. But when that happens, you're going to leave a man open on your double team, and that's where the weak side players have to help out.
Ron Culp out because of the injury timeout. Lionel Hollins is the trainer for the Portland Trail Blazers. Looks like he might have taken an elbow or something right there on that side, high in the chest area. And while I've got a moment, let me remind everyone about the Celebrity Challenge of the Sexes Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on CBS. Hey, you'll see Reggie Jackson race a bicycle against Barbie Benton. The Celebrity Challenge Tuesday at 8 p.m. Here are the world champion Portland Trail Blazers. Gross looking for a receiver, and here he is. He's Hollins. Lucas control at the offensive end, matched against Bobby Jones. You'll enjoy that confrontation today. Here's Wilkerson on the move. Denver likes to go. The lanes are full, and Murphy says you stepped on that sideline. Coming down, you're out of bounds.
Well, that was a nice play by Lionel Hollins, forcing him to the sideline and making him go out of bounds. But not, on the other hand, Bobby Wilkerson should have given the ball up to David Thompson, who was in the middle, would have had a perfect fast break from that point.
Look at Jones front Walton, Keith. They break away from the double team, but they want to control him because he's such a great passer. This time he'll come up with a shot. Gross got it up with a left hand. One of the more underrated men in the NBA, coming right back with a shot.
You know, we talk about the great rebounding on this team between Walton and Maurice Lucas. Bobby Gross is the top offensive rebounder on the Trailblazers.
Thompson, Gross staying with him, and Walton slides over and slaps it away. Hollins in the middle had it knocked away by Mac Calvin. Jones now, the Nuggets on the turnover come right back. Mac Calvin goes to Wilkerson inside, pretty pass, and again the defense was there.
Bill Walton's presence just makes it so tough on the other team. He's just phenomenal.
Walton coming down to make it 5-on-5, inside pass. Eluded Davis momentarily, so he'll bring it back now and set it up. Here's Hollins, and Thompson goes right up there to match him, and Jones down off the Calvin. Issel is the pivot man. Walton gambled, missed. Issel to the hole.
Here's Dan Issel taking the ball to the basket. Johnny Davis moving a little bit, not really in good position to draw the charge on that play.
Blazers up by a field goal. 6:55 to go, first quarter from Portland. Walton wanted Hollins, and they cut him off. It was good pressure by Issel that time. Wilkerson hits Thompson with a pretty pass.
This has really been, we've had a lot of different plays here. We've had some fantastic passes, and we've had an awful lot of terrible passes.
Keith, you know, Denver has lost its last two games on the road, and several players said we were looking for this one today, and I believe indeed they were. Off now to Lucas.
There's another example, a great pass underneath. Yet they've had 4 or 5 passes deflected and stolen already in this game.
The last road team to win in Portland, Cleveland, 113-101 last March 4th. It has been almost a year since the Blazers lost a home game. Jones throws it up gently. Nice touch on that shot. High to 12. Neither Larry Brown nor Jack Ramsey has gone to the bench yet. Jones on the interception, and this should be an easy one. Calvin leading Wilkerson, who'll take it himself. Nuggets up by 2, 14-12. Denver leading the Midwest Division. And they also must keep an eye on the Phoenix Suns for that best record between the two, and I'll tell you about that at halftime. Lucas rolled up a miss. He's been shooting red hot last 10 days. Thompson in the middle has got Jones. And now it is the Denver Nuggets who are showing us some team basketball.
This has really been fantastic. Some fantastic passes.
There's Darnell Hellman, formerly of the New Jersey Nets, slam dunk champion. Got a timeout here in Portland. 5 minutes and 23 seconds left in the first quarter. And the Denver Nuggets have slipped into a 4-point lead against the Portland Trail Blazers, 16-12. I wonder how teams feel when they come into Portland now, Keith. Did they get up, do you think, higher because they've got that record going here in the Coliseum?
You know, there are two ways of looking at it. You can either really get up high for it, or you can go in with the attitude knowing, hey, this is going to be impossible today. And it could have a psychological effect of really putting a team down.
All right, and on Wednesday night, I know what you'll be watching, CBS, because we'll all be in Las Vegas for the World Heavyweight Championship. Muhammad Ali against Leon Spinks. Is Spinks ready for Ali? We'll all find out And that broadcast begins at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. There are a couple of other fights also on that. They could be entertaining. Danny Lopez, for example, against David Cote. Lopez took the featherweight championship away from Cote when he was a heavy underdog. Cote now determined to get it back. We've also got a light heavyweight match. Michael Spinks, Leon's brother, against Tom the Bomb Bethea. Now the broadcast begins at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and that is Wednesday night on CBS. Muhammad Ali defends his heavyweight championship against 24-year-old Leon Spinks. Here in Portland, 5 minutes and 23 seconds to go in the first quarter. They got some rabid fans here, don't they, Keith?
That guy's ready for the Portland weather up here, isn't he?
And we have a substitution. He will throw the ball in. Larry Steele, one of the veteran swingmen, and now Darnell Hillman also checks in. He'll be walking right in front of Steele. There he is. Bobby Jones going out to get a rest. Because of his medical problems, I imagine Larry Brown and the Nugget staff will keep a very close eye on Jones as this game unfolds. Calvin matched against Davis. Here's Lucas, and Hillman will take him now. Gross traveled. He just couldn't quite get a handle on the ball, and Ramsey not in agreement with that.
Now, Jack Ramsey, you'll notice, he's supposed to stay in the area right in front of his bench. He's taking a little liberty there, I believe. It really did look like traveling to me.
Well, Jack was claiming that the official was looking at the hands and not the feet. You don't travel with your hands, and that's what Bobby Gross was having a problem with. Steele's on Wilkerson. Here's Hillman. Takes it back. Using some muscle against Maurice Lucas.
That's right.
Backed him in.
You know, earlier in that play, he backed into Maurice Lucas and hit him with his shoulder or head. Well, now Larry Brown sees that Maurice Lucas is hurt back here.
He's still not up. It's 4 against 5. Lucas was shaken up.
That's right. Hillman gave him a pretty good shot into the
now
jaw.
He comes down. Steele with the miss. Walton coming up over the back of Danny Issel. Waco picks up a loose ball foul. Nuggets will take it out on the side. 18-12. Denver with an early lead against the champion. They beat them 111-108 in Denver before the first of the year. David Thompson had a big game. Nuggets turn it over. Something you cannot afford to do against the Portland Trail Blazers, particularly in Portland.
Oh, that's for sure. They really take advantage of every opportunity they get, especially the turnovers.
Thompson on Bobby Gross. You know, Walton has not been passing off. They're doing a good job of double teaming, keeping the ball away from him, denying him that pass. Davis comes up outside. That is not Portland's normal game.
No, that's right. Of course, the key to keeping Bill Walton from throwing the great passes is obviously to keep the ball away from him, and that's what Denver has done so far very well.
Thompson. Issel, good shooter outside. Whistle blew, though, and we had a foul against Denver.
And Walton is really upset out here. Dan Issel manhandled him pretty well on that last offensive play for Denver down at this end. Walton is really letting the official know that he is unhappy about what's going on under the board.
Nuggets lead the Blazers by 4 with 3:47 to go in the first quarter. Walton slipped in behind Issel, and the foul was called. So there's that muscle you were talking about being used by Issel at both ends, Keith.
All right, now Issel is going to be trying to front Walton. See, he's on the side of him. Gross throws the pass, a beautiful pass over the top, but Issel was leaning on him, and they called the foul on Issel.
Ralph Simpson, number 10, has checked in for Larry Brown's Nuggets. Now here's Walton waiting for the cutter. And again, he didn't have that good movement, so he was forced to throw it up. And Denver's defense has been impressive in the first quarter. Here's Darnell coming down into Gross, and they'll jump it up. Bobby Gross tied him up. Hillman with the ball down low.
Here's Darnell Hillman getting the ball with Bobby Gross. Good position on the play. His hand right on top of the ball, and a very good call by the official. This should be an interesting jump ball, by the way. Darnell Hillman can really get up in the air.
And here's Dave Twardzik. For those fans who are watching the Knicks and the Nets, Keith, you might repeat his physical problem.
Well, Dave Twardzik about 3 games ago had a viral infection, and then 2 games ago took a tumble right on his tailbone, so he's been pretty sore.
This will hurry it just a bit as Walton came out. Normally, he's a fine outside shooter. Now, it's a 4-point Nugget lead. Here's Steele. Simpson picking him up. Lucas outside over Hillman. Just a little short. Hillman gives him but 1 shot, and Calvin applies pressure for the Nuggets. Issel to the basket.
Beautiful fast break by the Nuggets here.
Both coaches now going to the bench. Lloyd Neal is up. He will be checking in for Jack Ramsey. Boy, what a great sixth man he is for the champions. This will keep a hand on Walton. Lucas moves it to Steele. Simpson flies out on him on defense, and this will give the Blazers just one shot. Larry Brown up alongside the Denver bench. Now he sits back down. Calvin takes it back from Issel. Shot clock moves down to 5 seconds now, and Steele was out and he fouled Simpson. There's Coach Brown. His team leading the Midwest Division with a record of 33-20. But it's interesting, Keith, if you set up the playoff matchups, if you take it one step beyond the opening round and Denver winds up playing Phoenix, Phoenix would get the home court because they have the better regular season one-loss record right now. Vital for Denver to keep winning. Calvin outside, put it in on towards it. Walton. Blazers just a little short at the perimeter right now. Calvin applying pressure, keeping the heat on the defense. Simpson up. You could hear the 2-minute warning by Jimmy Jones over there. The PA microphone off now to Neal, inside to Gross. This shot, and Roberts came up dueling for the rebound, and Gross came up over the top, said Murphy. Anthony Roberts, rookie from Oral Roberts, out there for the Denver Nuggets. He's 6'5".
And he's also quite a scorer. Led the nation last year with 34 points per game at Oral Roberts.
Lyle Hollins will be coming back for Jack Ramsey. 22-14. Denver with an impressive defense here early. Dworczyk picked off. He stuck right with Hillman. There's a mismatch. Walton was forced to double team, but the Blazers get a turnover anyway. It's 3-on-2. Gross to steal. Well, it was a delayed fast break, but it counted.
It was a very unorthodox play. Gross wanted to pass the ball and changed his mind in the middle of the play and just bounced it. And the bounce went right to Larry Steele.
Walton got a hand on the pass intended for Issel, and the whistle blows as Issel came crashing into Bobby Gross. And Tommy Owens will be checking in. Lionel Hollins, too.
There's that lob pass again. Darnell Hillman, and like we said earlier, Bill Walton just will not allow that lob pass to get through.
How's the rebounding situation so far, Keith?
Well, in the first period so far, Denver is out rebounding Portland 12-10. And I think that's part of the reason their success so far in this game. They've really been hitting their own defensive boards very tough.
And as soon as Walton comes out, Tommy Lagarde goes in to face off against Tom Owens. So Larry Brown waits for Jack Ramsey to make the Walton move, and then Brown counters. Here's Lloyd Neal. Oh, what a player he has been. Some thought his career was going to be over because of those knee problems, and he just seems to get better and better as Bill Walton gets the normal break.
He's really valuable, Brent, because he can not only come in and play forward, he can play center. He started 9 games so far this year for Portland. They've won all 9.
Steele taking Roberts, knocked the ball away. Roberts forced one, and the whistle was blown by Rakel, who picked up the foul. That's 2 fouls against Larry Steele. So here's the man you talked about as a shooter, Roberts. Well, he's a solid-looking guy, isn't he, Keith?
Looks like he's all muscle. He's a very exciting player. He jumps very well. He's very quick. Plays good aggressive defense. He's going to be a great player in this league.
Denver up by 6 as they try to break the world champion string here in Portland. Steele pops over Roberts. Taken down by Neal, an offensive rebound, and a whistle and a foul against Hillman.
All right, Lloyd Neal got great position on this play. Now watch him take the ball, and Darnell Hillman, watch him behind. See, the foul, I believe, was on number 10 out in front. Number 10, obviously, Ralph Simpson. But the referee called it on Darnell Hillman from behind on the push. I think there was a foul on the play, but the referee got the wrong man.
Issel coming right back in. As soon as Larry Brown saw what Neal might do, he wants his big muscle man on the floor. So number 44 has checked in. Oh, mercy, when you can take a Bill Walton out and insert a Lloyd Neal like this and not lose much in rebounding strength, really forces the other coach into a situation he doesn't like. He likes to rest that man that takes Walton on. Now here's Issel. Off now to Simpson. Denver lost a tough overtime game in Seattle the other night. They were ahead down the stretch, and Larry Brown thought they could put it away, but Lenny Wilkins Sonics no pushover right now. Thompson goes high off the glass as the final seconds tick off here in the first quarter. Oh, Steele has got it every time we show up to do a basketball game. I thought it was Randy Smith.
Randy Smith in disguise.
Take another look at it.
Look at the seconds clicking off
I
here.
didn't think he had a chance to hit this shot.
Larry Steele took an old-fashioned two-handed set shot from well
And
over
there it
midcourt.
goes. 26-22, Denver over the champions.
You think he meant to bank it, Brent?
Yeah, Buck. I just went to another bar and asked for light beer for Miller. Yeah? They said, sorry, Buck, we don't have it.
They didn't have it?
No. I don't want some beer that's going to fill me up.
No.
I want light. Tastes great. Right. Has a third less calories than a regular beer. Yeah. And, man, it's less filling. You think I'm going to the other bar again? No way. From now on, the buck stops here.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
All across our land, people know our brand. You can trust AC.
Thanks, AC.
Spark plugs by AC.
Hear that, men? You can trust AC spark plugs. And remember AC filters to help protect your engine from dirt and dust. Right, Ben? Ben? Kids!
Drive through dirt and dust. Good filters are a must. You can trust AC.
Thanks, AC.
Filters by AC. Plugs and filters by AC.
Control is very important in the game of basketball. And control is vital in the game of life, especially when you're dealing with high blood pressure. Right now, I'm having my blood pressure checked. That's the only way to tell if it's high. If it is high, I'll follow my doctor's advice to control it.
It's normal, Tom.
Good. For more information, ask your American Heart Association. I'm Tom Borwinkle. Remember, we're fighting for your life.
An announcement from the American Heart Association in cooperation with the NBA.
Keith, Dr. Jack Ramsey no doubt diagrammed this play and they practiced it, right?
I'm sure he did. He remembers what Randy Smith did to him in the All-Star game last week.
You know what bothers me is that Larry Steele appeared to me like he knew he had it all the way as soon as he fired the shot.
I don't think he did, though. You notice that the ball banked there. I think he was trying to make it clean.
All right. Denver ahead of Portland 26-22. And again, the Trailblazers are shooting for their 45th consecutive victory here in Portland. Unbelievable, isn't it? Blazers come out to double team the ball. Thompson goes back to Simpson, who's the open man. You see Hollins get over him, and Simpson with a second shot. Roberts. Ball won't stay down. Owens off. Now it's Hollins. The Blazers will try to pick the tempo up here and get one of those streaks going that they have become notorious for in the NBA. Pass back to Neal. Oh, he's impressive.
That's really fantastic. You know, we talk about how great Bill Walton is. Here's Tom Owens. His replacement has come in. He can shoot the ball. He can pass the ball. He's a great player in his own right. What a fantastic replacement.
David Thompson enjoying one of the great individual years of any performer in the NBA. Pops that one. The Nuggets stay up by 4. They have come to play this afternoon, this Denver crew. They want that record to end right now. Hollins off. Thompson had a hand on it, but Portland was back there protecting for the deep rebound and steal. Now it is a 2-point lead, and so the screw is tightened just a little bit. Tommy Lagarde waits for an open man and puts it down himself, and so Steele pops out and the foul is called. And Steele says, how can you call a loose ball foul? I'm on the dribble coming out.
Well, he's got a very good point. Let's watch this. Makes a great anticipation play on Tom Lagarde. Steals the ball. Well, it's hard to say whether he had complete control of that ball or not.
So Portland with control. Steele with 3. Portland can tie it. Not this time. Lagarde got off the floor. Maurice Lucas watching, as is Bill Walton right now from Ramsey's bench. Here's Thompson. Taken off by Lloyd Neal. Dave Twardzik is in the middle. Great percentage shooter, goes to the hole. Jones is off Twardzik. Takes it back, hits Neal. Not there.
These guys really pass that basketball. No wonder they get such great high percentage shots.
Now it is Denver's turn. Back comes Roberts. Jones goes inside to Tommy Lagarde, and Owens blocks it away. Foul is called. It'll go over to Portland as Thompson was dueling Steele.
Bobby Jones makes a great pass down here to Tom Lagarde, cutting underneath the hoop. Doesn't bother to fake. He just takes it up, and Tom Owens makes a very nice block. And you notice Lagarde's left arm into Tom Owens. They called him for an offensive foul.
Keith, that's 2 fouls on Tommy Lagarde. Steele goes to Hollins. Up over Simpson.
Portland hasn't been shooting the ball very well from the outside so far in this game. I think Larry Steele just hit their only outside jump shot.
Bobby Jones with a quick dribble and a left-handed shot for the Nuggets. So it's back to 4. Denver leading with 9:16 left in the first half. Brett Arbach and Jimmy the Greek will be coming along at halftime. The Greek will be live from Portland. We'll find out what he thinks about that upcoming Muhammad Ali fight. Hollins put it down once. A little bit off balance on some of their shots here right now, Keith.
They're really not taking very good shots at all. That's one of the reasons why they're not hitting their outside shots, off balance and forcing the shots. They're not really getting into their offense and running it the way I'm sure Jack Ramsey would like them to.
Walton and Lucas still being rested by Ramsey. He goes to that bench. Taken down by Owens on the missed shot. Steele was open on the right wing and they didn't see him. Hollins over on the left now goes to Steele. He's been open all along and he drilled it by 2.
Well, that's that outside shot again. Larry Steele from the outside. You can't leave him open out there. He's a great shooter, a set shooter at that. He doesn't really jump on his jump shot.
Steele trying to Harris Thompson. Off a neat pass inside. Whistle was blown as Lagarde came charging into Owens. Crowd wanted the technical called.
There's that defensive help by the Trailblazers. 2 men jumping over and Lagarde charging into Tom Owens on that play, it looked like.
We've got a timeout in Portland. 8 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the first half. 30-28, Nuggets up by a field goal.
Tonight's game's going to be on TV, Steve. You need a good shave.
I did shave, Havlicek, but my electric razor just doesn't do such a great job.
Maybe it's not your razor. It's your beard. It just lays there. Get it to stand up. With Electric Shave. Williams Electric Shave. Let me tell you, it's really good. It sets up your beard so your razor shaves closer, smoother, with less irritation. Make your beard stand up. Make your razor shave better. Get Electric Shave. Oh, man.
See what's new today.
Last spring, 227 specially equipped Chevy Nova police cars were delivered to the Jacksonville, Florida Sheriff's Department. Now, that's a tall order, but no surprise, because law enforcement agencies in 47 states have made Chevy Nova America's best-selling police compact. Now, a lot of the things the police look for in a new car are the same things you'd look for in a new car. Reliability, performance, and value. Chevy Nova, a wanted car, now more than ever.
8 hours and 4 minutes. Amazing. 9 hours and 6 minutes. Fantastic.
Vicks Sinex long-acting nasal spray is amazing. It can quickly have you breathing as easily as someone with no congestion problem. And then it decongests up to 10 hours.
10 hours, incredible.
The game?
No, my nasal spray.
Vicks Sinex long-acting. Incredible.
Back in Portland, there you see our score. Some other games that were played today. Philadelphia, without the great Julius Erving, defeated Seattle. 109-99 was the final there. In case you haven't heard, Irving has been hospitalized for 5 days. We'll get into that. Indiana defeated Chicago. Chicago not playing well right now. Keith, they're having a lot of trouble.
They're sure not playing very well. I don't know what the reason for that is. You know, they've got a chance to make the playoffs here. This is the time when they should really be turning it on.
And you have to keep an eye on your other division within the conference. You know, even though Chicago is still in second in the Midwest, they got to watch that Pacific Division right now. We'll talk more about the playoffs with Keith at halftime. A lot of interesting stories around the league. Steele goes cross court now. This is Dunn, their top draft choice out of Alabama, number 23. Davis maneuvers, gets it off to Neal. Blocked, and foul is called by Rakel as David Thompson went skyward.
Not much expression on David Thompson's face on that. You don't know whether he felt it was a foul or not. But let's see, as Neal takes the ball to the hoop, let's watch David Thompson. He jumps so well. Let's see if there's any contact on the play. It sure didn't look like any to me unless his little ankle down here hit Lloyd Neal.
That's about how high he gets. A referee standing right straight tall would see that ankle, I think, of David. So here is Neal as the Nuggets lead the Blazers. 2 team fouls against the Nuggets, none against the Blazers. 7:50 to go, second quarter. Walton and Lucas are getting along and what could be a meaningful rest. Jones goes inside to Simpson, formerly of Detroit, after starting his career off with Denver, taken down by Neal. Holding foul is called, and there you see Bill Walton.
Backcourt foul, get a number 10, holds on.
Holding foul and a backcourt foul at the same time. I mean, Lloyd Neal had the ball in possession and he was on the floor with it.
And Simpson being assessed with that foul. So Neal will come down to the free throw line.
The fans here in Portland giving Lloyd Neal a little encouragement to make a couple of these free throws.
Listen, Keith, these have to be the most spoiled fans in the world. This team hasn't lost since last March here.
Well, I hope we're not around when they do lose.
30-29. Here's Thompson. And Steele being hit again outside. That is 3. I had him for 3 a time ago, and the official right now has got him for 3. I want to run a check on Larry. One of those fouls they must have given to someone else. Jones moves it now to Wilkerson, who pops it from the perimeter. Up over the top, it'll go now to Portland. I am sure, Keith, that a lot of the fans down in Denver might have misinterpreted what you just said about not wanting to be here. I'm sure those folks down there at a mile high want nothing better than to see their Nuggets in this streak of Bobby Gross, who has just come back in, and the rest of the world champions.
I'm sure they do. I hate to be counted for the reason why they lost. Portland lost here, though.
Neal getting to the hole. 6:58 as the Blazers go up by 1. Neal out on Jones. They go back to Simpson, who had maneuvered. And again, as those men are cutting to the baskets, grabbing going on underneath. And we got another foul. Walton will be checking back. So when you return to Portland, there will be 6 minutes and 48 seconds. The world champions lead Denver by a point.
Keeping our country beautiful and saving energy. 2 good reasons why Alcoa supports aluminum can collections. Recycling saves 95% of the energy needed to make new metal from bauxite. Today, 1 out of 4 aluminum cans is recycled and used again. Tomorrow, maybe 1 out of 3. Someday, maybe every one of them.
We can't wait. We can't wait for tomorrow. Alcoa can't wait. We're good and tough. We're the Kellys.
The Kellys have a way to save gasoline from the ground up. A steel-belted radio called the Kelly Gas Pincher. When we tested a set of gas pinchers against our non-radials, the gas pincher pinched from 14.5 up to 31.7 more miles out of a tank of gas. That's hundreds of more miles a year with the gas pinchers.
You're watching television. I'm watching Selectivision. Television shows you what it wants. Selectivision shows me what I want. And when. I've recorded my favorites. The best action, drama, sports, the best. Selectivision is the 4-hour video cassette recorder from RCA. Nothing you want to watch on television? There's always something good on Selectivision.
Let RCA turn your television into Selectivision.
Bernie Casey and Bo Svensson in the story of Maurice Stokes, Big Mo, a television premiere on the CBS Friday Night Movies at 9, 8 Central and Mountain Time.
All right. right, Bill Walton checking back in for the Portland Trailblazers. He got a good 6-minute rest, Keith Erickson.
Well, that's really important, I'd say, and that's a big factor coming down towards, at the end of this game. If it's close, you've got arrested Bill Walton. You've got a lot going in your favor.
On the floor for Jack Ramsey, we'll have Dunn, Gross, Davis, Neal, and Walton. So Lucas still being rested against the Nuggets, who are at the line with Ralph Simpson, and they'll have Hillman, Issel, Wilkerson, and Thompson out there. 6:48 to go. Nuggets are behind by a point. That ties it at 31. So now let's see what kind of a defense they'll set up against Walton. Issel awaits him. They hit him, and he waits for the cutter. Neal uses Walton as a screen. Davis scrambling, knocked away. Nuggets now with control. Away from Issel, and on the turnover, it'll go to the Blazers.
That was really an interesting play there. Don Murphy, who was on the ball, didn't see whether Dan Issel touched the ball or not, but Issel gave it away. He turned around and started walking to the other end. That's one of the things that a player should not do out there.
Davis to the basket. Found daylight and wove his way to the hole. 6:17. Thompson right straight up for the tie. One shot for Denver. Oh, they're going to get another one on the turnover. And did you see how the Nuggets were setting up on defense? 3 men were back at midcourt. Nuggets trying to get the ball underneath. Larry Brown's game features layups, and sometimes they can force that ball. Middle was clogged. Touch last by Portland. Here's Darnell Hillman, formerly of Indiana and the New Jersey Nets. Issel takes Walton outside and tied it with 5:48 to go in the first half. Davis again dishes off to Maurice Lucas, who's checked back in. Thompson more or less half fronting Walton that time. Davis runs it down. Shot clock down to 5. Good defense by Denver. Excellent defense by the Nuggets.
They're really playing good overplaying, helping defense, which is a sign of Larry Brown's team defense.
Keith, it goes back to 5 seconds. That's what's left on the shot clock. Davis will take it outside. Snap down. Wilkerson off to Calvin. Calvin can fly. Goes to the basket. Crashes into Davis. Foul is called. Some of the fans thought it should be a charging foul as they collided underneath. You can judge for yourself.
Not well received here in Portland. Let's see if Johnny Davis is still moving. And he definitely was. At the time that Mac Calvin went into the air, Davis has to be planted, and he was not on that play.
We've got a 20-second injury timeout. Mac Calvin was banged up. Jack Ramsey looks on. Another reminder that the Celebrity Challenge of the Sexes begins at 8 o'clock Eastern Time on CBS. You can see Suzanne Summers in a swimsuit against Clifton Davis on that broadcast. So that's Tuesday night on CBS. Hey, it's a big week for sports on CBS because the next night, beginning at 8 o'clock, we'll decide the World Heavyweight Championship. Muhammad Ali going to be heavily favored. Most experts feel that Leon Spinks just does not have enough experience. But he's been offered a chance, and he hopes to make the most of it. And you'll see it Wednesday night on CBS. Right now, it is the world champion Trailblazers with the ball. They trail the Denver Nuggets by 2 with 5:13 to go. Dunn went inside. You could hear the whistle sound as they were popping that ball into Walton.
This is a big factor in this ball game right now. Let's watch Dan Issel trying to keep Bill Walton from out of the middle. Got his left hand on his hip in there and then leans on him with all 240 pounds and picked up his 3rd personal foul. That's a big factor.
So Tommy Lagarde, the rookie, checks in to lean on Walton for a while, and I do mean lean. That's what he's doing right now. And Walton wants it against the youngster right now.
That's what you call taking advantage of it.
So how long will Larry Brown keep Danny Issel out with the 3 fouls? 4:50 to go. Score is tied at 35. Thompson hit Lagarde, the open man, and Lucas came over. Good switching defense inside by the Blazers. Hollins with that left-handed shot. Now Issel's on the bench. The Blazers are up by 2. 4:34 to go in a half. So with Issel watching, the Denver Nuggets have come eyeball to eyeball with reality in the NBA. And let's see how they meet this first challenge. Wilkerson outside. Lucas jumped out at him on the side. First foul.
Now that's not a good foul either. Bobby Wilkerson is not a real good outside shooter, shooting only about 41%. If you're going to give him any shot, you give him that outside shot, and you just put your hand up and try and bother him a little bit. You don't really have to hit him out there.
Nuggets move to within one of Ramsey's Blazers. Tie it up. 4:18 to go. First half in Portland. Walton wants it again against Lagarde. Waiting for a cutter. Still waiting. He'll put it up if he can't find the man. Now the Nuggets come back down trailing by those two. Alvin running the offense for Larry Brown. Goes to the right side. Hollins had a hand on it. Hillman came out to save it for Denver. Inside on the turnover. Wilkerson in pain. Injured a hand slightly. Davis out of control. Charged into Lagarde. No whistles. And back now come the Nuggets. Thompson flashes into Hollins. And a blocking foul is called. Boy, I'm not sure about that one. No, I'm not either. I thought Hollins was set up on that.
All right, now the key is whether Lionel Hollins is stationary when David Thompson takes off. And it looks like he was. Yes, he definitely was on that play.
The crowd aroused. Jack Ramsey is at midcourt.
I might say at this point that that's an extremely difficult judgment call for the official to make. Here's Lionel Hollins coming over before Thompson goes into the air, and he was stationary.
And maybe it's not even fair for us to indict Murphy and Rakel since Hollins was really out of the frame. I don't want to cop a plea for the officials, but we didn't see his feet either. A 2-point lead by the Blazers. Timeout in Portland.
Michael, hand me my beauty shampoo.
You must have left it in the tennis bag. Here, try mine.
Are you kidding? You have dandruff, and I have very delicate hair.
Hey, I've noticed some flakes in that delicate hair.
Not enough to worry about. Besides, I need a gentle shampoo.
See? Doesn't that smell mild?
You're right. Very mild.
And how about that lather?
Very rich. Feels nice.
Looking very good.
Yeah, better you look, the better you play.
And you owe it all to my shampoo.
Oh, come on. That was no dandruff shampoo.
Do you want to make a small wager?
Sure. Loser treats to an hour of court time.
You lose.
Head and Shoulders? It's got to be gentle to give me hair like this.
Yeah, and you can't beat it for controlling dandruff. Just use it every time you shampoo.
Okay, you and your Head and Shoulders win. When do you want to play?
Doesn't matter. Whenever you and your delicate backhand feel up to it.
Oh.
Head and Shoulders. Strong against dandruff. Gentle on your hair.
Presenting the amazing 1978 G30 Chevy van. There's a new look, but the same mammoth load capacity as last year. You can equip it to hold 296 cubic feet. Or Chavan, over 2 tons of payload. Plus, Chevy van has the potential of becoming something very personal. 1978 Chevy van. Seeing is believing. Chevy trucks, built to stay tough.
Down the floor, you're going to get kicked out. So don't force anything, but take all the good ones that you have, and let's get to the offensive board. We should get more in our offensive board.
Portland Trailblazers coming back to work. Fans still unhappy with that blocking foul against Lionel Hollins. How many statistics can I give you as far as the Blazers are concerned? 26-0 at home. Obviously the best record in the NBA, but they are 16-8 on the road. So there are some teams, or perhaps I should say at least one team, that can break through and win on the road.
That record on the road, by the way, percentage-wise, is only surpassed by 2 teams in the NBA as far as their overall record.
That would be Philadelphia and Phoenix, right, Keith? Well, I tell you, Phoenix plays in the Pacific, so they don't get the publicity that Portland gets. They're having a marvelous season under John McLeod. That is a great organization down there in Phoenix, and they would like nothing better to get another shot at a championship. Lucas outside with Jones on him, bounces high, knocked away by Hollins. Goes over to the Nuggets as they come down. Score is tied. Thompson knocked back. Thompson hits it. They've got 4 shots. Won't go down. And finally, rookie Tommy Lagarde puts it in. Boy, they had enough chances, Keith.
They sure did. Great determination by Tom Lagarde under there. Going against Walton and Lucas. That's a heck of a play.
Pop pass to Walton, and Denver got a hand on it and knocked it out of bounds. Might have been Wilkerson underneath.
I'm a little surprised so far in this game to see the shot selection that Portland has had. They're really taking a lot of outside
Walton's
shots.
unhappy with Tom Lagarde right now, Keith. Let's take a look.
Bill Walton really using his body down here. Walton getting an elbow in before Lagarde throws him to the floor.
Well, they're trying to keep Walton and Lucas off that glass. Hollins. Walton is there that time, and they're at each other.
You can hear it again. Before Walton went up for that rebound, you heard the guttural sound come out of him. Here's Hollins with the outside shot. Look what's going on in here. Look at the bodies and how Bill Walton is laid back. Here he's going up for the rebound. He and Darnell Hillman. There's David Thompson coming through, and Maurice Lucas in there pushing guys around. A lot of activity underneath those boards.
Keith, we've got 2:53 to go in the first half. Denver not about to be caught up in Blazer mania if they can hold it off right now. And obviously with Issel on the bench with those 3 fouls, Tommy Lagarde will try to muscle Walton as he's giving away so much experience, with the score tied at 41. Now the Nuggets come down to see what they can do about it. Gross fronting Jones, trying to deny him the ball. Now he backs off. Ellis on the floor, the rookie from Marquette. Hillman puts it down. Thompson the cutter.
There's sure a difference in the sound in this place when Denver scores. There was one little clap that went on that time.
Ellis off. Did a good job on the defensive board, and Jones on the move has got Thompson. And David, who has been phenomenal this year for the Denver Nuggets. Only player in the NBA who has not been held below 15 points in any single game. You're watching him on defense right now against Hollins. David Skywalker Thompson. Lucas backing in, muscling his way, gets one shot. Jones off quickly now to Thompson. Larry Brown trying to get that running game moving. They'll set up a play with 1:45. You can watch the time left in the first half in the upper right-hand corner. David put it down, and Hollins hooked him as he got beyond him. But did you see Walton come jumping in there to pick him up?
He sure did. One thing you can't do is you can't give an entire side of the floor to David Thompson. Lionel Hollins should have been overplaying to the other side, forcing him to the middle. He let Thompson get around him, and then when Thompson had beaten him completely, Lionel Hollins just wasn't going to let him get to the basket, grabbed him so he couldn't put the ball up.
You know, this is a very meaningful streak for Larry Brown's Nuggets. Issel on the bench. The scoreboard's got the Nuggets ahead 45-41, up by 4 at 1:40. Thompson struggling just a bit here at the free throw line. Couldn't put him away.
Took the sombrero on that play.
Wilkerson out on Davis, and here's Hollins. Boy, Hillman's working on Walton right now. They're just sending one man after another. Oh, Davis was the cutter. He sprang free from the weak side, open all alone underneath.
5-second count on that.
So it goes back to Portland. They have forced the turnover after the basket with 1:19 left on the clock. So it was 45-41, and on the turnover, here come the Nuggets. They lead it by 2, 45-43.
That's a real heads-up play by David Thompson there. Bringing the ball down. He could have tried to force a play, but he brought it back out so they could set up and get the play they want.
And he took it himself. That was the one they wanted, Keith. Little jump shot up over Gross. 4-point lead inside of a minute. It's a moral victory just to take a halftime. Oh, Walton, alley-oop. 2 points. Just as I say that, the Big Red puts one down.
You just barely see Bill going back door there behind Darnell Hillman. That's a sensational play, but half of the credit's got to go to Bob Gross on that perfect pass to Bill Walton.
Ellis backing in on Gross. Pumps once. Hits it. A 4-point lead again in the last 27 seconds ticking away here in Portland.
That's really a big play down there by Bo Ellis. You know, a rookie coming into the game in a pressure situation like this, just turning around and hitting a nice jump shot.
Hillman half fronting Walton, plays him on the left side. They're letting it wind down now. Here's Walton. Shot clock at 5. Takes the little jump shot. He's got a size advantage on Darnell Hillman. He's used it the last 2 times down the floor on the mismatch.
Only 1 second left.
He did not get it off. So we have ended the first half in Portland with the world champion Blazers trailing the Denver Nuggets by a field goal, 49-47. Coming up at halftime, we've got Red Auerbach on round ball, Jimmy the Greek to take a look at Muhammad Ali, and Leon Spinks and Keith Erickson to talk about some playoff chances around the NBA.
When you order a beer, do like Smoking Joe. Order light beer from Miller and say no more. It's got the third less calories than the regular beer. Light tastes great, y'all, but listen here. It's not the thing that makes me shout. Light's less filling, and that really knocks me out.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
If you're looking for a new home, here's something to look for. Styrofoam brand insulation. Depending on conditions, it can save you up to 24% on your heating costs. It goes up easy and adds little to the cost of a new home. Your builder just installs it in place of ordinary sheathing, from roof line to frost line. Just ask for Styrofoam brand insulation, and you can look forward to energy savings, heating and air conditioning for the life of your new home.
Trucks.
How they change, sweetheart.
Trucks you can count on. And Ryder tunes those trucks razor sharp, ready for anything. When Ryder rental trucks take off on a mission, there can only be one ending.
You're nervous, huh, kid?
No. Mission accomplished. Ryder, the best truck money can rent.
From blazing heat to paralyzing cold, season after season, the JCPenney battery has more power to start your car more dependably than any other car battery you can buy. And it never needs water. In fact, it's so dependable, it's warranted for as long as you own your car. If it ever fails to hold a charge, return it. We'll replace it, free. Only at JCPenney Auto Centers or catalog desks. It's the last battery your car will ever need.
Today we're at the Mather High School in Hyattsville, Maryland, the home of one of the great high school basketball teams in the nation. Here we have George Lehman, who really can make this thing talk. What is this thing?
Red, a tossback's a training device that allows players to reproduce game conditions for passing, rebounding, and shooting. Again, with repetitions becoming a big part of basketball, and we can repeat a lot of things.
You know, George, I've never been one for any kind of device at all. I've kind of fallen in love with this a little bit based on some of the things you've shown me. Now, I want you to show the people out there some of the things that this thing can be used to help players play the game.
All right, let's teach a player to react to the ball and keep his feet moving for defense. Go down to the defense, keep the head still. Move them feet to be a better player.
Watch the feet.
I want to move my feet.
Speed, speed, speed.
Speed, head
All right, George, hold it up. George, I know that kind of wore you out a little bit with that drill involving the feet. But what about the hands? Show me one with the hands.
Red, if a player can't catch the ball, he can't play. Here's a drill to develop the hands.
Now, that drill is good. Of course, you could use another man, except the ball comes back a great deal faster with the use of the tossback. Is that right, George?
It's important that the big men catch the ball, also guards. Now, here's a guard. going to show you a couple drills to improve his hands.
All right, watch this now. This is very, very good. Watch this very closely. Two balls. Look at him moving. All right, now watch it now. Now watch it behind his back. Watch it behind his back. Just a little dexterity, just to have some fun. It's really good, except we just demonstrated a behind-the-back drill with the use of the toss back, showing how quick this thing goes and you get your rhythm. What about the shooting?
Let's practice shooting off the pass.
All right, watch this. Right off the pass, the shot, as he catches it, he shoots it. He does not bring it down. Very, very good. It's a very good move. The machine helps because you can set it in any way, catch the ball, and shoot it. All right, George. All right, that's enough. You might miss one. George, you demonstrated shooting. I like it. Now, you got two tossbacks. You're going to demonstrating how one guy can use both of the tossbacks to develop his reaction, his passing, his spinning, and his balance. Show us that.
Big man, foot quickness, keeping the ball high.
The ball is high. The ball is high. Ball is high. Watch it. That's the best way to feed the pivot. All right, hold it before you knock me out. All right, George. I like that. That's good for development and so forth. But this next thing you're going to demonstrate, I really like. Because the Celtics over the years, playing the fast break, predicated on rebound, here you could use the toss back to develop your rebounding and your outlet pass all in one drill and all by yourself. Show me that.
Let's demonstrate both of them. Hands again over the head. We're after
There's
the ball.
Rebound. Offensive rebound. Offensive rebound.
Now go for the outlet now. We'll go out. Hands again.
Outlet pass. Uses another machine. Just
Hands
that he
again over the
keeps
head.
moving. You notice how great this is for conditioning? Continuous movement. Continuous movement. Fellas can develop their own little tricks. All right, a rebound. Attaboy. George. I like that very much because
The preceding public service message has been brought to you in cooperation with the National Basketball Association. The NBA on CBS is sponsored by all the new 1978 Chevrolets, now at your Chevy dealers everywhere. Lowenbrau, light special and dark special, when it's time for the taste of a truly great beer. And by Hertz, the superstar in rent-a-car.
Back in Portland, I'm Brent Musburger with Keith Erickson. And Keith, we've got an opportunity here to check about some of the surprise teams around the NBA. It seems like every year one team sneaks up on us. Last year was Portland. This year, San Antonio.
San Antonio has just been playing fantastic basketball. Although they made the playoffs last year, you really don't think of them as one of the top teams in the league, yet they're running away with their division this year.
George Gervin, of course, is the main man, and they always accuse that team of not playing good defense. But I hear that today that they have come together a little bit better than they did last year.
Well, they're playing more as a team, and you've got to play some defense in this league, or you wouldn't be doing as well as they're doing right now.
Speaking of defense, another team that we have overlooked this year, simply because they're in the same division. I mentioned it in the first half. The Phoenix Suns, the team that you wound up playing for.
Well, I played for that team last year, and we ended up as the 5th worst record in the league last year.
So they got rid of you, and look what happened to them today.
They made one key change.
I apologize, Keith.
That's all right, Greg.
Listen, tell me about John McLeod. What kind of a coach is he? What does he stress down there with the Suns?
He stresses teamwork. He's a lot like Jack Ramsey here. I'm really impressed with Ramsey and with John McLeod. They're both very similar. He gets his team together. He's very detail-oriented. He's interested in the players, getting them to do what he wants to do, and that's really the key.
And if he ever wants to get mad at a referee or one of his ball players, he just punches Al Bianchi alongside
Al Bianchi throws his clipboard at the official.
They have done a fine job down there. Of course, Julius Erving, unfortunately, was hospitalized the other day, as you no doubt read, that phlebitis of the knee. Apparently, they wanted to get him off his feet, and that's the reason why they put him in a hospital. Julius probably watching us this afternoon. We certainly want to wish him the best.
Yes, indeed. It said evidently about a week or 2 weeks he'll be laid up before he'll be back.
And Pete Maravich didn't play. Last night I noticed in the New Orleans box, and of course he's got that injured knee. We've got to get him back in the lineup. You hate to see these stars out for any length of time.
Well, that's for sure. And it's hurting the New Orleans chances of really making the playoffs down there. The longer Maravich is out, the worse shape they're going to be in.
Keith, I had the folks here in Portland draw me up a list of the 6 teams that would be in the playoffs if they started today. In the West, Portland, Denver, Phoenix, Seattle, Chicago, and Los Angeles would make it as we start the second half. In the East, of course, Philly, San Antonio, Washington, the New York Knicks, New Orleans, and Cleveland. Denver with the ball in the blue and a 2-point lead as we begin the second half. Can the Nuggets snap this incredible streak of the Trailblazers? Offensive foul is the call. The Blazers can come down and tie it right away. Keith, let me set the lineups. I see Hollins and Davis in the backcourt. Gross, Neal, and Walton up front. So Lucas out as we start the second half. For Denver, Thompson, Calvin, Jones, Issel, and Wilkerson. Hollins tied. 11:34 to go, third quarter.
It was really a good shot by Lionel Hollins. As he went up in the air, Wilkerson faked like he was going to jump to block the shot. Hollins actually hesitated at the top of his jump, changed his shot around, and still made it.
Now, Denver stressed its defense and trying to give Portland but one shot in the first half. We'll see how that works out here in the second half. Wilkerson with a pretty drive. Got inside and hit it. Nuggets back ahead by 2. Lob to Walton. It works again, even with Issel in rather than Lagarde.
That's some pretty play, isn't it? And, you know, people don't realize how difficult that pass is. Coming all the way out from the side of the floor. It's really a beautiful play to watch.
Thompson hits Wilkerson and went inside to Jones. Went to the left hand again. Only one shot and he eludes Issel. Davis tripped up. Hollins was right behind him. They lose control. It'll go now to the Nuggets.
It almost turned out to be a perfect pass.
Sure did.
Lloyd Neal actually had his hand on the ball. That would have been some play. Would have brought the house down here in Portland, wouldn't it?
Bobby Jones has left the game, and Hillman checks in. I wonder if he's, again, is encountering problems with that medicine that sometimes makes him drowsy, and Larry Brown very concerned about that. Hillman, straight up, one shot for the Nuggets. As Walton clears. Blazers had the lanes filled. Good defense. It'll count. Goaltending is the call as Hillman comes racing in. There's Bobby, seated alongside Larry Brown. What a proud athlete he is. I know how he has to be affected mentally by having his game slow down somewhat. Issel puts it down on Bill, and Walton blocked it and made a bad pass. Calvin was there. Back now to Calvin. See that double team as he was cut off from penetrating. Moves around, loses control. They turned it over. Here's the goaltending, Keith.
Here's Lionel Hollins beating Bobby Wilkerson on that play. Darnell Hillman down there, a great leaper, gets up and takes that ball after it had touched the board, which is automatic goaltending.
Timeout in Portland. 9:46 to go in the third. The Blazers are up by a field goal.
Hertz knows to keep your business, they've got to give you the fastest possible service. And to do that means adding more people behind counters, where and when you need them. More new cars where you need them. Opening more locations where you need them. Next time you need a car, wherever, whenever, come to the one with more cars, more locations, more people to serve you fast. Rent a Ford or other fine car from Hertz.
The superstar in rent-a-car.
You know it.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special. The beer will
Happy birthday, you old codger.
Well, it's certainly not a tie.
Open it.
So tonight...
Case alone, bro.
I wanted to make sure we got something good to drink at this party. When you want the taste of a truly great beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow. Here's the good friends.
Let it be Lowenbrow.
Save during the 23rd Magnavox annual sale. Big price cuts on color television, even touch tune models. Big price cuts on color portables, too. Save on Magnavox Decorator Stereo and more. Chances are, what you want is on sale. So come on down to the big Magnavox annual sale today. Now save even more on special surprise bonus items when you buy during the Magnavox annual sale.
Bernie Casey and Bo Svensson in the story of Maurice Stokes, Big Mo, a television premiere on the CBS Friday Night Movies at 9, 8 Central and Mountain Time.
53-51. Portland leading Denver by 2 points here in the third quarter. You know, when we talked in the first half about Portland not having anyone averaging 20 points or more, not since 1964 has the NBA team with the best record failed to produce a 20 points per game score. Here's Walton. Now he's their leader at 19.1 this season. Blazers go up by 4.
He's their leader in just about every category out there. He's doing it all this year.
Thompson off to Wilkerson. Wilkerson glides inside. The second time he's done that in the third quarter. Issel playing against Walton with those 3 fouls. Walton wanting it from Gross, and he's got it. Facing the basket, goes to Hollins. Denver has lost some of its intensity on defense. It may be to protect Issel. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Calvin has lost control over on the side. It'll go to Portland. It's 57-53. It's a 4-point lead right now. Larry Brown has got his defense operating right in front of the Nugget bench. Gross chases it down and hits Walton, who hits Hollins. It was like it was a planned play.
Bobby Gross making a nice save on the ball here, hitting Walton. Walton always looking at the whole floor. He sees Lionel Hollins cutting backdoor, taking the ball to the hole for a possible 3-point play.
Maurice Lucas still on the Portland bench as Lloyd Neal has replaced him. More importantly for Denver, because they haven't got anyone who's near Bobby Jones's experience and capabilities. He's out also for Larry Brown. They work it to Darnell Hillman, who's coming in on Neal. Walton is there, and Hillman came right back up. Whistle was sounded.
That was a fantastic play by Bill Walton. Coming over after, watch Hillman beats his man. Now watch Walton come up and block this shot. Hillman is really a leaper, and Walton goes up, and it's tough to see where he fouled him on that play. Bill was really unhappy about it. You know, he gets up so high that it's just, his body must have hit him down low on that play.
Here's Darnell. Keith, 2 fouls against Bill Walton this afternoon. 8:24 left. Walton got a long rest in the first half. Outlet hits Hollins. Dishes to Gross. Oh, Hollins threw the defense so well and dished off.
When you've got a guy that can penetrate like Lionel Hollins did on that play, he's worth all of his weight in gold. He draws 2 men to him like he did on that play and left Bobby Gross wide open for the shot.
Suddenly, Keith, it's an 8-point difference. Ralph Simpson. Here's David Thompson. Hillman behind his back. Portland's defense going to work now. They're keeping the Nuggets out, trying not to give him any layups.
You know, it's too early in a game like this to say that the game is really, this is the turning point in the game to say it was won here. But Bobby Jones coming back in, you know, Larry Brown is thinking obviously the same thing. He's got to get this team back on the track right now.
Thompson makes a pretty move underneath Walton and got it up, so it's 62-56. It's 6 points right now. Thompson cutting Gross off, not giving him that baseline avenue. Davis came around Walton. Bill will take it right back. They front him, deny him. Hollins has it blocked by Jones, who just came off the bench. What a difference Bobby makes. Wilkerson to the basket.
That's the value of having Bobby Jones on the floor. You know, he hasn't been scoring as much as he usually does, but just defensively, he's the best defensive forward in the game.
Pass, and David Thompson stepped over into the lane as Davis was coming down. Take a look at this. Thompson anticipated, and watch how Walton passes.
Look at that. Walton sees Johnny Davis coming through. Here's Bobby Jones back in there. David Thompson, Ralph Simpson. Tough getting through the 3 guys like that.
And when you get a quick cutter like that, and even if you get at him, sometimes you're moving and you're going to be called for blocking, as was the case here. So here's lightning quick Johnny Davis. Jack Ramsey says, Keith, that if there's a key difference between the Portland team and Maurice Lucas and where he coached at Buffalo, that he's got better overall speed at guard, which I found very interesting because Randy Smith, of course, is one of the quickest guards in the NBA. But he says with Davis and Hollins and Twardzik off the bench, he's got 3 men who can fly down the floor.
Sure does.
And, of course, he's got Walton in the hole. That also a major difference.
Makes a little difference, doesn't it?
Doesn't have an outside shooter, though, that can compare to McAdoo, as the foul is called by Murphy. Gee, the Knicks losing to the Nets in Piscataway as the New Jersey Nets have come alive. Won their last 3.
You made a very interesting point there, Brent. You just said about McAdoo and his outside shooting. The difference being in that setting up an offense around one player or a team offense the way Portland did.
There's that team in operation. Davis was coming to the basket, and the whistle call. Keith, just as you were saying that, the Blazers had all the lanes filled, perfect fast break as they come down.
That's right. Now look at, and not only do they have the lanes filled, but you see Lloyd Neal coming down as the trailer on the play, just like you learn it in college. A perfect fast break.
Got a timeout here in Portland. And the Trailblazers, who have not yet lost a home game this season, lead Denver by 5.
See what's new today.
Introducing the third generation Monte Carlo. The third generation of a highly successful personal luxury car. Its highly original styling opens new dimensions in affordable luxury and in comfort. With more rear seat headroom, legroom, and hip room than last year's Monte Carlo. The third generation Monte Carlo. Drive it and put a little distance between yourself and the crowd.
Each year, thousands of homes are lost to fire. That's why you need Allstate's homeowners insurance. But did you know many other homes are lost to another major disaster? The owner dies before the mortgage is paid. For that, you need mortgage protection insurance from Allstate Life. Your family needs both kinds of protection, and your Allstate agent can put the two together. See him soon.
Energy for a stronger America.
Last year, Exxon launched the world's tallest offshore oil platform. Today, off California's coast, it's opening America's really deep waters as a source of energy for the first time. From its deck over 900 feet above the ocean floor, drilling crews have begun work. And soon, 28 wells here will be producing oil and gas where none could be produced before. A new source of energy for a strong America.
Here in Portland, the world champions ahead of the Nuggets 63-58. And here's another surprise. Kansas City beats Cleveland in Cleveland, 101-88. We've talked a lot about the Nets. I'll tell you who else has come alive, Kansas City.
They've really turned it around for some reason. I wonder why they wait to this. They're already out of the playoffs. And then
get a coach fired, and then they suddenly win. The one coach who I think has done an incredible job and really has to be mentioned for the coach of the year really has to be Lenny Wilkins up there in Seattle.
He's been a real miracle worker. That was the worst team in basketball at the beginning of this season. They've turned around to have actually, one of the spots almost locked up in the Western Conference.
And, of course, they took a picture of the man kneeling down who's done an incredible job here in Portland, Jack Ramsey. They'll probably pass him up again because everybody expects Portland to win it this year. Gross fronting David Thompson. You got to watch Bobby Gross on defense. He's so active. Simpson coming up with the shot, and Walton gives Denver but one shot. Now it's off to Gross, who loses control, regains. Here's Hollins. Walton wants it, goes inside to Gross. This time they had it clogged, and back come the Nuggets. Ralph Simpson. Lucas still out. Thompson comes straight up on Lyle Hollins, taken off by Neal. Davis across the midcourt line. They'll slow it down and set up a play.
Brent, how many teams in the league do you think would like to be in a situation where they can keep their power forwards, one of the best forwards in the league, on the bench this long?
It's so hard to find even one good power forward. Leave alone two, Keith Erickson.
Just phenomenal.
And, of course, Neal can also play small forward as he did the other night. Simpson had it elude him, and on the turnover, Walton. Hollins and Wilkerson contested him that time, and the foul was called.
Here's Lionel Hollins working on Bobby Wilkerson now. Just goes up. Wilkerson looked like he was up on top of that ball. Difficult to call from our angle here on that play.
Right now it is a 7-point Blazer lead with Hollins at the free throw line. Here's Maurice. He checks in for the first time in the second half with 5 minutes and 46 seconds left in the third quarter. Against the Midwest Division, Keith, the Blazers are 12-3 this year. They lost in Denver. This is only the second time that these two teams have played. Now watch Gross go with Thompson inside. Here they are. Gross trying to work on defense against one of the best men in the NBA. Thompson got a hand on it, and there's Jones. And credit David Thompson with hustle. Lob intended for Lucas. Back to Davis. Dead on. 5 minutes and 8 seconds to go in the third, and 8-point Blazer lead. Hollins picks up Bobby Wilkerson. Jones the cutter. Lucas off to Hollins. Dishes to Gross. Pretty pass by Lyle Hollins.
That's that play we were talking about before, Brent. When you've got a guy with that quickness that penetrates out well, he draws 2 men to him. He's able just to dish the ball off to Bobby Gross again.
And Keith, suddenly the world champions are ahead by 10. They can run a streak on you, can't they?
Heads are turning to Vitalis. Heads are turning.
Pardon me. If I give you a lift?
Heads are turning to Vitalis.
Hey!
Heads are turning.
Don't I know you from somewhere?
Today's women are turning to men with shorter hair. That's why more men are turning to Vitalis for that clean-together, younger look. So use Vitalis and start some heads turning.
Excuse me, is the seat taken?
Heads are turning.
It's a fresh new slice of apple pie from Chevrolet team. A fresh new slice of apple pie from Chevy Malibu.
We saw you coming, America, and here we are with a new mid-size Malibu wagon designed to carry you well into the years ahead. With mileage estimates no other mid-size 6-cylinder wagon can top. With all kinds of room inside, plus a smart new look that's not going to go unnoticed.
A fresh new slice of apple pie called Chevy Malibu.
At your Chevrolet wagon stop now.
100 miles from nowhere, you prospect for black gold. Punching holes in the seafloor, knowing that more often than not you'll come up empty. But you take the gamble anyway and give it everything you've got. Now comes Miller time. Time to head for shore and the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer, Miller Beer.
Larry Brown lets his Denver Nugget team break its huddle, and in this quarter, Portland has shot 9 of 10, 5 of 13. That's been the shooting percentage for Denver. So there has been a difference with defensive intensity here in the third quarter. For the game, 54% for Portland, 45% for Denver. Trail official Rako picked up the call that time.
It's great to see the reaction of the players out here when a foul is called on that they don't think has been called. Lionel Hollins just threw up his hands and still smiling about it. Me?
Head of officials, Norm Drucker, watching here this afternoon. Thompson's shot scooted out. Jones gives Denver a second chance, and Simpson hits the field goal.
You know, I think Denver is really going to have to bring Jan Issel out and start getting some points from the outside. He just can't take it inside on Bill Walton.
Walton driving to the hole that time. Thompson right back. It's a 10-point Blazer lead. Simpson maneuvering, using the jump shot. 2 quick field goals in a row. Keith, statistically, which is the best quarter for the Trail Blazers?
Well, Portland has really been phenomenal here in Portland. Their best one is the fourth quarter. They've won 35 and only lost 13 fourth quarters.
We're in the third as Johnny Davis flows in with 3:49 to go. It's a 10-point Blazer lead. Larry Steele will check back in for the champions. Walton out on Issel. It's Jones. There's a mismatch, and Issel went gliding past, took the pass, and hit it.
Well, that was a nice movement play by Denver. They've got to have more of that. Dan Issel took Bill Walton out to the top of the key and then cut to the basket on that play. He's going to have to get Bill Walton out away from the basket.
Keith, that's 3 fouls on Gross. Calvin checking in. We've also got 3 fouls on Hollins and 3 on Steele, 2 on Walton. At the Denver end, we have 3 on Issel and 3 on Darnell Hillman, as well as 3 on Ralph Simpson. No one with 4 fouls. Walton, establishing his spot. Always asking for the ball so he can control the offense. Hollins comes straight up on Wilkerson. Jones gives them but one shot. Calvin controlling the game for Denver right now. Nuggets need a streak to climb right back in it. Led by 2 at the half. Calvin puts it on the floor. Lucas came over and intimidated that shot. Hollins off now to steal as Davis goes down. Walton backing in, leaning on Issel, waiting for a cutter. He'll screen for Maurice. Maurice has shot very well from the field the last couple of weeks, hitting better than 60%.
That big guy is quite a player, Brent. Not only can he go inside and muscle with the best of them, but he's got a very nice touch on his jump shot from the outside.
Denver at the perimeter right now. Shot clock moving down towards 5. Get it inside to Calvin, who puts one up against the big guys, and the whistle and a foul. Larry Steele was in there, had his hands up over Calvin's head. And that's 4 fouls against Steele as Dave Twardzik checks in.
Here's Dan Issel with the ball as the clock was running down. Now they had to get a shot up in a hurry here. Matt Calvin caught underneath with a lot of big guys under there. Jumps back into Larry Steele, and the foul was called on Steele.
57.
Roberts checking in. The rookie from Oral Roberts. Calvin at the free throw line. 2 minutes and 21 seconds to go in the third. 76-69. Steele cuts off Walton inside. Dish to Lucas on the turnover. Here come the Nuggets. They've got him 4-on-2 right now. They should convert. They couldn't get the layup, but they settle for the perimeter shot and make it count. So it's back down to 5. They've cut that 10-point lead in half. Hollins with a high dribble that time, and he turned it over as he was trying to come around the left corner.
Here's Lionel Hollins bringing the ball down the sideline. Ball gets away from him a little bit here, and he turns it over at the top of the dribble. The official right on the play, right behind him, made the call.
Calvin will direct the offense from the left side for the Nuggets. Walton keeping a hand out in front of Issel, trying to deny him the ball. Calvin draws Walton, but couldn't get it off to Issel. Roberts at the perimeter has done a job since coming off the bench. It's now 3.
That's 2 in a row for Roberts. In the last play, you said they couldn't get a layup, and Roberts took the outside jump shot. He said, "That's a layup for me, coach. Let me have it from here."
Lucas put it down on Jones, got inside of him. Jones committed to that first Lucas move. Tom Owens will check in, so Walton now will get his 3rd and early fourth quarter rest. 1:15. Roberts wants everything now, doesn't he? Wilkerson coming up from the corner, but the whistle was sounded by Murphy, who caught the knee being thrown. And that is 4 fouls also against Hollins.
This is really the time when you've got a guy like Anthony Roberts who can get so hot, where you should really be looking for him and try and get him the shot. He's hit 2 in a row, and you know, he's ready to just light this hoop up down there.
Darnell Hillman has checked in for Denver. Nuggets stand at 33-20 for the season. But 23-3 at home and 10-17 on the road, and some players are a little suspicious about that altitude down in Denver. Of course, they'd blame anything if they had a winning record down there at home,
That's right?
If it's not the referees, well, it's the altitude. We can't play it a mile high. Somehow David Thompson does all the time. 1:09 left now in the third. It's a 3-point lead by the world champions. Tommy Lagarde will take Tom Owens. Lucas wants it on Darnell, wanted it back to Steele, and it was Anthony Roberts with a hand on it who forced that turnover. Wilkerson, the main man in the middle. Boy, he can play either guard or forward. He's done a good job. Stepped in there for Brian Taylor. Has to run this Denver team.
He's done a heck of a job. He can really take that ball to the hole, too. He's very valuable, guard or forward.
They've come back now. They've chopped that 10-point lead to 1. Lucas with a miss outside, and the Nuggets can climb back into the lead if they can convert here. Portland was up by 10 at 4:45, and of course at halftime the Nuggets were ahead by 2. So Portland came out and seized that lead. They've had it ever since. Calvin let the pass elude him. On the turnover, it'll be the world champions. 17 seconds to go.
Jack Ramsey calling one shot over there. Let's see what play he sets up down here now.
Calvin checking towards it. Owens taking the pass, jumps up on Lagarde. Lucas, the offensive end with control as the buzzer sounds ending the third quarter. We've come to the end of three quarters from the Portland Memorial Coliseum, where the Portland Trail Blazers are unbeaten this year and trying to stay that way.
Sir, what's the hurry? Oh, going to rent a car. Oh, well, you don't have to run. Gotta run. Oh, no, if you had an Avis Wizard number, you could walk. Walk? Call toll-free and let our Wizard system do the running. Just show a major credit card, license, sign, and get the car. I don't have to run through airports? Not with Avis. I can walk through airports.
We try hard, Avis. Avis, we don't know another way.
I'm walking through airports.
The NBA on CBS will continue after this word from your local station. It may be Valentine's Day, but you never know it by watching Celebrity Challenge of the Sexes when it's male versus female, Tuesday night on CBS.
All right, be sure and stay tuned for the MVP award at the conclusion of this game. The trivia question up on the scoreboard while you were away. What did Keith Erickson contribute in the second half to the Phoenix Suns' dramatic triple overtime loss to the Boston Celtics? I wonder who set him up with that, Keith.
I bet Tony Verna did that.
That's right. Our director set you up on that. You, of course, injured an ankle, unfortunately, and you're in on the trainer's table trying to find out what happened. And here in Portland, we're trying to find out if the Trailblazers can keep this amazing streak alive. Quarter stats, 54-49. The Blazers outshot the Nuggets. Collins, Owens muscling up on Lagarde. 80-77, Bill Walton. As is the case with Jack Ramsey, starts out the second and fourth quarters on the bench. Then he will come back in for the stretch. Blazers are up by 3. Portland without a loss at home this season. They haven't lost here since last March when Cleveland beat them. The fans expect nothing less than a 20-point victory. Lucas off now to Hollins. Calvin awaits him. They'll go to Steele. Hollins backing in. Turn around on Calvin. And they're going to go now to the men in blue from Denver on that loose ball foul as they came up over the top. Tom Owens picking up foul number 1 and the first team foul, obviously, in this quarter as we are just underway. Big week in sports for CBS. Tuesday night, Celebrity Challenge of the Sexes. Wednesday night, the Heavyweight Championship of the World. Muhammad Ali and Leon Spinks live from Las Vegas. Newman put it down once, but the whistle was sounded. And on the 3-second violation, it'll go to the champions.
Play's been a little sloppy here at the beginning of the fourth quarter. Neither team really setting up and moving the ball, getting anything inside. Surprised to see Portland come out and taking these outside shots again here.
Denver's cut off that inside without Walton in there. Dworsik again at the perimeter. Imagine a lot of coaches around the league are watching right now, trying to figure out how they can make Portland shoot more from the perimeter rather than get their fast break going, because it can become lethal.
Yeah, that's right. Not only the fast break, but when they come down and they set up on their offense, they're so darn good at getting the ball inside so that they have so many guys cutting to the hole all the time. You've really got to stop that inside stuff.
There's Hollins again at the perimeter. And as you pointed out, Keith, they're not shooting well. They get a second chance. Go across to Steele. Hillman will sky it down. Nuggets can pull to within 1. Let's see what kind of a shot they get against this defense. Boy, Hollins denied Thompson the ball. Now David's got it finally. Loses it on the turnover. Here's Hollins. Calvin cuts back. Dvorcik's open on the other side.
These guys, Hollins and Dvorak, really work beautifully together on that fast break. They really know what each other's going to do with that ball.
Keith, instead of 1, it's back to 5. Here's the rookie Roberts backing in on Steele. I'm straight up on him. Roberts showing us a good shooting touch here in the second half.
He can shoot that ball, but that's not the kind of offense that Denver needs to get back in this ball game. They can't just come down and fire one-on-one from the outside.
Lob high for the man underneath is Owens. Traveling is the call. Danny Issel checks in. Nuggets can ease to within 1. Bill Walton lacing up, getting ready to go back to work as Bobby Wilkerson checks in and Matt Calvin goes out for Larry Brown's Denver Nuggets. Dvorcik gives up a lot of size to Wilkerson, doesn't he?
He sure does. They should really set up that mismatch down there.
Thompson came across and they picked up Hollins on the fall. I thought David was just tripping. That's an important foul. That's number 5 against Hollins. So Bobby Gross will check in and then they can swing Steele back to guard. Obviously he can play both positions. Bobby Jones now coming in for Brown.
Lionel Hollins still over there chewing at the official. Didn't like that call at all.
Steele will take Thompson, and he's got to work hard to try and deny him the ball. Blocked by Owens, who came up, and the foul is called.
Do you think he's happy with that call or not? It's hard to tell by looking at his face. Here comes Anthony Roberts taking the ball to the hole. He beats Bobby Gross. Owens comes over, helps out on the play, but I actually felt that he hit him with his body down low, and I think it might have been Roberts' momentum carrying him into Owens. Nevertheless, the foul was on Tom Owens.
Let's see now how Denver attacks the glass against Owens and Lucas. They've got Issel and Jones out there. Bill Walton with that right shoe off, not indicating that he's about to come back right away. So 8:53 to go. It's a 1-point lead for the champions. Lucas regained control. So Denver is forcing Portland to shoot it up from the perimeter right now. He wants it. And that's not the kind of shot that they need, as you pointed out, even when he was making one, Keith.
It's really difficult for a coach to decide on a time like this with a guy like Roberts who can get so hot. You know, you want him to shoot the ball, but that's really not a good shot.
Owens off balance, got it down anyway, and Lloyd Neal will soon be coming back in for Jack Ramsey. And Larry Brown going to call a timeout at this juncture with the Nuggets back by 3. He'll either want to talk to Anthony Roberts, slow him down just a bit, or go to his bench. We've got 8:13 left in Portland.
Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet.
Come and get it, America. Chevy's new size, quick size, mid-size Malibu is here. And it's so right in so many ways for so many people right now, you'd think it had been designed by John Q. Public himself. It's going the way America's going today. A fresh new slice of apple pie from who else but Chevrolet.
A fresh new slice of apple pie from Chevrolet to you. A fresh new slice of apple pie from Chevy Malibu.
Hey, look at that. It's a chainsaw with its case. Uh-oh, somebody left it. Probably taking a coffee break. It's a McCulloch Mac 140. Wow. It's got automatic oiling. That's slick. This is the chain brake safety feature. Yeah. It stops the chain in less than a tenth of a second. That's fast. And look at these teeth. They sharpen themselves with a press of a button. Mine don't.
The McCulloch Mac 140. You can't buy another chainsaw with all these features at any price.
That McCulloch's got just about everything. Yeah, but I bet it can't swim. Good point.
McCulloch. In the yellow pages, under saws.
You're the Pepsi generation.
I never won anything before.
Man, it's always the first time. Come and have a Pepsi day. Come on and make this day a celebration. Come on and join the Pepsi generation. Come on and have a Pepsi day.
checking back into the game for Jack Ramsey's Portland Trailblazers, and you will be able to see just what a difference he makes. Notice now as they come down how more often they will be able to get the ball to the big man, and they'll work the wheel off of him. Things change rapidly when Walton comes back for the Trailblazers. Now, Denver will attack with Thompson, Wilkerson, Issel, Jones, and Roberts. 8:09 to go, and the Nuggets are down by 3. They've played well in stretches in this game, but now it is the most important stretch. Ramsey trying to help Rakel over there, Keith.
He sure was. So was Larry Steele.
How many pairs of pants he wears out in the course of a season. The right knee.
He didn't even wear his bright ones today. I wish we could have seen that.
One shot. So Walton leads the offense down now, and here's Davis. Bill waits. Goes to Davis.
Well, they really passed that ball around the outside.
There's Neal, and there's the difference. Now we come down to 7:35. We've got a 5-point lead by the champions. And again, Denver's come eyeball to eyeball. But I'll tell you, I've been impressed because they didn't give up when they were down 10. Jones underneath puts it right back on them. Now, if they can keep that up, they'll be right here down the stretch all the way. It's a 3-point lead.
Well, that's definitely what they have to do, is get the ball inside, get some movement in there, instead of taking those outside shots.
Neal. Issel battling. It'll go to Denver. Thompson with the ball on the floor. Neal awaits him. Bounce pass to Jones. 2 quick field goals by Bobby Jones.
That's a beautiful fast break by the Denver Nuggets. I'm sure Larry Brown, if he could have said anything to him at the timeout, he would have said, let's get that ball inside, get it out and run, hit those boards, get some fast breaks out here.
Blazers up by 1. They hit Walton. Look at Issel kind of smiling at him. Walton comes up misfiring, and Neal is there. Offensive control. Give them 2 shots, and they'll generally burn you inside, as will most teams in the NBA.
That's where Bobby Jones was at a disadvantage down there. He and Lloyd Neal were going at it. Neal outweighs him by about 30 pounds. Just pushed him out of the way.
Roberts. And the whistle blew for the foul. Ramsey unhappy with his defense that time.
Well, that's the 3rd time in a row that they've come down and gotten something inside off of this Portland team. That should not happen to Portland, especially here in the 4th quarter.
4 fouls on Gross. Roberts hits that free throw. Young man's confidence now has got to be bubbling as the score is tied with 6:27 to go. Denver with a chance to end this incredible streak, and the Blazers have won their last 7 games. Off now, and on the turnover, here come the men in blue.
David Thompson holding it out again, making sure they set up and get a good shot.
Thompson gliding free, Gross going with him. David wants him one-on-one. Makes him pay for it that time at 6 minutes.
That's that good shot again, isn't it? Can't beat that shot. Any ball that goes through the hoop, that's a good shot.
Gross for the tie.
That's a good shot.
Larry Brown yelling instructions to his offense. Wilkerson controlling the ball. He's got a big size advantage on Davis. I would think Wilkerson would try to get him underneath. Here he goes. They get Issel out high now. And Roberts says, I want it. Knocked away by Issel out of bounds. It'll go to the Blazers. Boy, Larry Brown's got a tough decision to make now. You get a young man like Roberts who's red hot, helping you stay in the game, but you don't want him to force any shots up. You've got a chance to beat the champions. You're tied at 90. 5:20. That's why life is so precarious for a coach in the NBA. Issel with a hand. Walton, now Jones on the double team, and Walton with that little jump turnaround hook. Brown will bring the Nuggets over. Walton and the Blazers go to the bench. Assistant coach Jack McKinney alongside. He was patient, wasn't he, Keith?
Yes, he was. Let's watch this shot by Bill Walton. It's really an unorthodox shot. It's not a true hook shot, and it's not a jump shot. He just goes up and gives it a little flick with his wrist. He's got great control of it, though.
Excuse me, sir. What's going to help that beautiful car last?
Quaker State Motor Oil.
If you like our motor oil, you'll love our oil filter. Hey there, what helps more cars avoid expensive engine repairs?
Quaker State.
If you like our motor oil, you'll love our oil filter. Pardon me, friend, what's America's best-selling motor oil? Quaker State. If you like our motor oil, you'll love our oil filter.
Whatever you do, that look just comes through. It's confidence, confidence. Millions of people each day help keep themselves dry the sure way. Take off your coat, America. Take off your coat to show.
Sure keeps me so dry, I can take off my coat with confidence. Most sprays go on wet and oily. Sure goes on dry and helps keep me dry all day.
Take off your coat to shore.
Now comes Miller time. You've turned a dangerous ledge of new powder into a harmless pile of snow. Now's the time to head for the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life, America's quality beer since 1855.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer. Miller Beer.
We head for the stretch with the question, can Denver become the first team in the NBA to win a game in Portland since Cleveland last March? The Blazers ahead of the Nuggets 92-90, 5 minutes and 5 seconds for the game. Wilkerson, Thompson, Hillman, Issel, and Jones for Larry Brown right now. Steele fronting Jones as they battle down inside, and Rakel was awaiting him too.
Well, that's a big foul right there. Here's Larry Steele on David Thompson. And then there's a switch off. Bobby Gross now on Thompson. We didn't get to see it, but Larry Steele was called for holding Bobby Jones. And that's the 15th foul for Portland already here in the fourth quarter. Denver only has one. That is really a key play.
Now it will become so important for the Nuggets to convert at the free throw line. 4:57, only one team foul against the Nuggets, Keith. So they're not even close to being in trouble. Hillman out on Neal. Good pass inside. Jones came over to contest Gross, and the foul was called.
That was a beautiful play by Bobby Jones. Here's Bob Gross going back door. Jones turned his back, and that's what happens when you turn your back. His man got him to the hole. Here's Bobby Jones going up. They call him for fouling him on his body.
Keith, Friday night on CBS at 9 p.m. There's going to be a CBS movie entitled Big Mo. And I really want every NBA fan or everyone watching to check in on it because it's a man I admire greatly, Jack Twyman. Do you remember the Maurice Stokes story? Well, that's what it's about, the true life story of the late Maurice Stokes and Jack Twyman. What a friendship that was. You've got to admire Jack Twyman. He used to be a broad the NBA, and how much everyone appreciated what he did for Maurice Stokes. And it has contributed even though Maurice has died. Now on the break, here is Neal back in Portland with 4:25 to go. Blazers ahead by a single point. And again, that movie is Friday night. They throw that alley-oop to Walton. Issel was contesting him that time, and the foul was called.
That's also a big foul on Dan Issel right there.
I want to remind you about the time. That's 9 o'clock Friday night for that movie about Jack Twyman and Maurice Stokes. 4 fouls on Issel. He had 3 in the first half. He played a long time without picking up that 4th one. Turnaround by Walton, just spun out, but Gross was right there. Jones dueling in. Still no whistle. And out they come. No jump ball is called. Here's Wilkerson with 4 minutes. Blazers leading the Nuggets by 1 point. What a furious ending we're in for now as the Nuggets try to snap that streak. Inside to Hillman, who bounced off his man. An offensive foul is called as Gross went down to make sure the officials saw it.
That's the play I'm sure Denver was trying to run. They've got a big mismatch down here. Darnell Hillman at 6'9", guarded by Bob Gross at 6'5". All Hillman had to do was turn around and shoot the ball. Instead, he rammed his way to the basket, knocked Gross down.
3:40 to go. Walton waits. Collins in and out. Denver can seize it. Trail at 92-91.
It's interesting. Denver is not even looking for the fast break at this point. Wilkerson got the ball and just took it out to the side, not even going down for the possible fast break opportunity.
Thompson threw one up outside, and Hillman with a big offensive rebound came up on Walton. Foul is called as he drew Bill over to him.
That was an interesting play because Bill Walton was actually trying to just get away and not pick up a foul on that play. Here Hillman gets the rebound. Let's watch Bill Walton as he fakes Hillman, And then Hillman jumps right into Bill Walton. Walton actually going back away from the play. Contact on the play. The official called the foul on Walton.
Keith, I've got to wonder a little bit about Maurice Lucas's condition today. He's been on the bench a long time. He's back over on the bench right now. Twardzik not feeling 100%. So the Denver Nuggets are ahead of the world champions by 1. 3:15 to go as Maurice Lucas watches from Ramsey's bench. Hillman fronting Walton, not giving him the ball, denying him. Here's Davis. Denver forcing him at the perimeter. They cut off Walton inside. Shot clock toward 5. Hollins forced to take one outside. Good defense by the men in blue. They're up by 1, and here they come, 2:50. And, folks, they've got a chance. Here is Thompson coming right down on Hollins and Hillman.
Looks like they're going to try and set up David Thompson down low. Now bringing him out.
Davis denying Wilkerson the ball. Hillman giving it back to Thompson. Thompson glides, pops one in the whistle, and a foul call. Gross was off to the side.
This is one of those plays where the officials bail out the shooter. Here's David Thompson jumping up. He had nowhere to go with the ball. His momentum actually carried him into Bob Gross, who the only thing he did wrong was leave his feet. He got called for the foul for that reason.
And that's 5 fouls against Gross, who has battled David Thompson tooth and nail this afternoon. Thompson has scored 20 points. He's coming off a 43-point explosion. 2:25. Nuggets are up by 3, 95-92. Here's Hollins, and he goes to Walton. Walton will put it up on Issel. He can do that so well if you cut off his receivers. It's a 1-point basketball game with 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Will this be the day that Portland finally loses at home? Blazer fans starting to come alive. And that will be no small factor, will be this enthusiastic crowd. Hillman went to the left hand.
What a fantastic shot. Darnell Hillman would have had his shot blocked if he shot it with his right. Switched it over to his left and made a beautiful bank shot.
3-point Nugget lead. Larry Brown down on one knee in front of the Denver bench. Gross gliding, and the foul was called. Jack Ramsey up. Keith, I wonder what an athlete feels about a streak like this. If you would like subconsciously to get it off your back, or you want it to go on forever.
Well, realistically, you know it's not going to go on forever. It's got to be broken sometime. And this is the kind of play that'll break it.
There's Larry Brown, who's got a chance, and this team's been pointing for this game. They've lost 2 in a row on the road.
I'll tell you, when the team is in foul trouble, those kind of fouls are the ones that are just going to take you out of a ball game. Those little ticky-tacks out on the perimeter. Not when a guy isn't even shooting the ball, just dribbling it. Those things really hurt you.
We hope you're enjoying this. Next week, we've got another doubleheader game, full slate of regional action, and Keith and I will be in Oakland. It'll be Golden State against Los Angeles. We'll check in on the revived Lakers and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. 1:25. Nuggets up by 3 right now. Hollins pops one outside, and it's back to 1. Now there'll be some pressure on defense from the Blazers. Wilkerson will bring it up, and Davis is there immediately. 1:10. It's a 1-point Denver lead.
David
Thompson comes out. He wanted it. He just said, hand it to me. I want it. They clear out. Thompson to the jump shot. And Walton off of the pass to Gross. And a bad pass by Gross. Off of Wilkerson. Jones in. Here they come. 50 seconds to go. Nuggets up by 1.
Now you know they're going to be looking for David Thompson in this situation.
Here is Issel.
There's the screen for him.
Larry Brown, interesting, just wants him to play right now. He didn't call the timeout, and the Blazers have turned it over. Traveling is the call after the interception.
Well, Bobby Jones has to be happy about that. He threw a terrible pass in there.
Now we're going to have a timeout. On the revived Lakers and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. 1:25. Nuggets up by 3 right now. Hollins pops one outside, and it's back to 1. Now there'll be some pressure on defense from the Blazers. Wilkerson will bring it up, and Davis is there immediately. 110. It's a 1-point Denver lead.
David
Thompson comes out. He wanted it. He just said, hand it to me. I want it. They clear out. Thompson to the jump shot. And Walton off with the pass to Gross. And a bad pass by Gross. Off of Wilkerson. Jones in. Here they come. 50 seconds to go. Nuggets up by 1.
Now you know they're going to be looking for David Thompson in this situation.
Here is
There's
Issel.
the screen for him.
Larry Brown, interesting, just wants him to play right now. He didn't call the timeout, and the Blazers have turned it over. Traveling is the call after the interception.
Well, Bobby Jones has to be happy about that. He threw a terrible pass in there.
Now we're going to have a timeout. Collins is complaining. Ramsey's out there, along with Jack McKinney.
Here's Bobby Jones again. Now watch, he's trying to hit Issel cutting down low. Walton had position on him. The ball's loose here. Here's Lionel Hollins comes over, picks it up, takes about 3 steps with it before he puts it on the floor. He felt that he was pushed from behind, and that's why he was arguing with the official, Bob Rakel.
35 seconds now on the clock. Denver has control and a 1-point lead, so they cannot run out the time completely. Portland will have some time left. However, the Nuggets obviously could also have a 3-point lead, or even a 2-point if they're fouled and go to the line. So it's going to be very interesting to see what Ramsey comes up with on defense. Let's listen.
Straight up, switching, overplay, make it as hard as you can for him. If we get a fast break, take it. If you don't have a fast break, take your time. We'll take a timeout. All right? Hey, we got to win the game. Let's go. We got to win the game. All right, let's go. With defense here. They are not going to score. They weren't going to score. Let's go. We're going to take a timeout unless we have a fast break. Hey, if we got a fast break, let's execute it. Yes. Let's go. Let's go. Play smart, man. Hey, everybody involve yourself in the fast break if we get one. But keep the backcourt covered. Don't leave an empty backcourt if we have a fast break. All right? If you don't have something clean, we got to turn it.
Well, we can improve upon that. You heard Ramsey tell him exactly what to do, and you heard the head cheerleader, Bill Walton, insist they're not going to score. Let's get the break and let's execute. And if they haven't got the break, they're going to call the timeout. Meanwhile, at the other side, Larry Brown has been diagramming a play, and it'll be important as to how many seconds they run down on this 24-second shot clock. That's going to be a very critical factor. I have seen players come out after timeouts and panic and put it up too quickly. 35 on the game, 24 for the shot. Here come the Nuggets. They lead it by 1. Will the home streak finally end for Portland? Down to 12. Thompson, the man with control. Collins on him. Thompson wanted it. Straight up. There's 19 seconds left and a 3-point difference right now. And, of course, they don't have the fast break, so the Blazers go to the timeout. You know, we've got to pick a most valuable player award in this game, Keith Erickson. I got to tell you the truth. I am stumped if Denver goes and upsets the Trail Blazers this afternoon.
Well, David Thompson,
team effort
it certainly was a great team effort. But, you know, David Thompson, I mean, how can you can't run a better play than that. You know, one-on-one on the man. They had 5 fouls. He can't afford to foul him. He would have the penalty situation again. David Thompson hit a big jump shot right there.
Work to receive. Whichever one of you can receive, do it out in front. Or your weak side away. One on this side. Yeah, this side. All right.
Gotta make it take some time for the ball. So everybody understand that. We have to block out. If we can't grab it, knock the sucker back. We need 5 guys to rebound. What they usually run is a pick and roll with Hollins and Walton. Only watch that. You look good when they go to the top. If they're going to beat us on the outside shot with a hand up. 5 guys on the board. Now, questions. If you have trouble with bounce, we save all that responsibility.
Another reminder, Tuesday night is we continue a big week of sports on CBS. The Celebrity Challenge of the Sexes, you'll see Reggie Jackson in that broadcast. And the following night from Las Vegas, it'll be the heavyweight championship of the world. Muhammad Ali and Leon Spinks. And there's our situation as the Blazers come back. And You heard Larry Brown tell his team to get 5 men to the glass after the shot. 19 seconds and 3 points.
Well, the one thing they certainly don't want to do is give Portland the opportunity for a 3-point play.
Walton just put it down and came right in, and the foul was called with 16 seconds. That's 5 fouls on Issel. And, of course, they had that foul to give, as Keith Erickson told you earlier in this ball game. They were not in the penalty here. Back to Bobby Gross, who takes the shot in short. And Davis underneath. That'll back in. Neal muscles up. Whistle at 6 seconds.
Well, that could have been a very big play right there. Lloyd Neal getting fouled underneath. Had he had the opportunity to get that ball up and into the basket, a great chance for a 3-point play. One thing in the Nuggets' advantage on that was the Portland, before they got a good shot, they had about 3 or 4 shots at the basket, which was really running time off the clock, which is what Denver wanted.
101-98. 6 seconds. And 3 to make 2 for Lloyd Neal as they have just reached the penalty. Rakel telling Jack Ramsey to get back a bit. Three to make 2 in 6 seconds. Ramsey was delivering a message to Walton, Keith. That's why he wanted to get closer so that Bill could hear him. Now Walton will move into rebounding position. That's exactly what Ramsey wants. Ball comes off the glass. They want to go for the tie here. 101-99. Try to step inside Issel. He's got the penalty coming up. Now watch Walton in the middle. When it's released, he's going to fly. 6 seconds. There he is. Issel boxed him out. It goes to Jones. They're going to end the streak. They fouled Calvin with a second to go. 101-99, and some of these loyal fans are finally headed for the exits in Portland. And all great streaks have to come to an end. I understand, Keith, that the Chicago Bulls had the Portland Trail Blazers on the ropes out here in the last, I don't know, something like 30 seconds. Portland quickly made up 5 points, won the ball game in regulation time. But here with 1 tick of the clock left, it's going to go the other way.
Doesn't look like they have enough time in this one, does it? Only 1.
Isn't that interesting? Denver to be 2-0 over Portland.
Jack Ramsey still hasn't given up, though. He's telling his team to call a timeout if he makes this free throw.
Phoenix, of course, preparing to take on Washington this afternoon. So Portland's lead could be cut to 6.5 games. Calvin exuberant as he leaves the free throw line. 103-99. Look at Larry Brown and the Denver Nuggets. You must give them all the credit in the world.
There are only about 15 people in this building that are happy right now, and you see them right there.
So 26-0 at home until today. Not too bad if you're 26-1, no, Keith Erickson, I should say.
Not too bad.
Not too shabby. And a reminder of what's coming up this week, of course, the Celebrity Challenge of the Sexes Tuesday night, the heavyweight championship fight, Muhammad Ali and Leon Spinks on Wednesday night. Then next Saturday, it is the CBS Sports Spectacular. And on Sunday next week, another doubleheader game on NBA. Be with us as we're in Oakland for the Golden State Warriors. Rick Barry taking on the Los Angeles Lakers and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Who do we give that Chevrolet Most Valuable Player award to? David Thompson?
David Thompson's got my vote, Brent.
I'd like to give it to the whole team, but Chevrolet might get a little upset with me this afternoon. I'm not that lenient with their cash. Walton at the buzzer. It counts. So it's 103-101. It has ended, and the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player Award goes to David Thompson of North Carolina State, and the Chevrolet $1,000 scholarship will be awarded to North Carolina State. Very nice thing just happened here in Portland. I noticed that the fans who were still here, they came to their feet and they gave the Trailblazers an ovation as they headed for the locker room. The boos you hear, well, you know who they're intended for, of course, the 2 officials. And so here at Portland, the winner is Denver, and the final score, Denver 103, Portland 101. Well, now Keith Erickson, Portland can concentrate on trying to get another win streak started. I think Atlanta probably coming in here for their next home game. Portland 42-9 now. Obviously, that is still the best record in the NBA. Some of the other games that went on around the league, the New Jersey Nets defeated the New York Knicks 112-110. Kansas City defeated Cleveland 101-88. Indiana beating Chicago 111-94. Keith was the score there. Philadelphia downing Seattle 109-99. And of course, the big story this afternoon in the NBA is the fact that the Portland Trail Blazers have lost their first home game this season.
And their second game to the Denver Nuggets, which is very important too. Denver is looking at this as a big, big game, pointing for the playoffs with feeling that they can beat these Portland Trail Blazers.
See, Portland and Denver would draw byes, wouldn't they, when the playoffs got underway? Then they would go into the mini-series, best 2 out of 3. Phoenix would play Los Angeles if the playoffs opened up tonight, and Seattle would be matched against Chicago, and then Portland would get the winner of the Seattle-Chicago series. Of course, that's all based on ending the season right now this afternoon, something we're obviously not about to do. All of these records could get thrown around. The Boston Celtics, for example, still not out of it. They've got an outside chance to come down. Philadelphia and San Antonio leading over in the East. Washington would be matched against Cleveland, and the New York Knicks would take on New Orleans. And then Philadelphia, with that best record in the East, would play either the Knicks or New Orleans. Washington, Cleveland going up against San Antonio. But that's such pure speculation right now because we've still got so many regular season games to get underway. If we had to pick out a couple of items here this afternoon, Keith, besides the tremendous performance of David Thompson when it counted, what do you think Denver did as a team to beat Portland? Because I don't think any one individual will ever beat the Portland Trail Blazers. They play too well together.
Well, there's no way. I think the real key to the game was the defense that Denver played coming down to the end. They really forced Portland to take outside shots. That's the key. Portland is so strong with Bill Walton's passing, getting the ball inside, guys moving all the time, moving to the hoop. Denver really kept them from getting those easy shots, and Denver, as we remember, got a lot of layups. Remember, 2 or 3 in a row there.
Right.
That was really the key right there.
And they didn't get Portland, they didn't allow Portland to operate that fast break. Remember during that timeout when Jack Ramsey said, if you've got the fast break, go ahead and use it and try to tie this basketball game up. But they weren't getting those easy baskets in the second half.
Absolutely. And on the other hand, you know, the game just turned around from half to half, and Denver was getting the fast breaks, getting out. David Thompson started hitting his outside shot. Portland was taking outside shots and not hitting them.
Issel picked up 3 quick fouls, and then it was not until late in the fourth quarter when he finally got foul number 4, and then I think he wound up with 5 fouls. We can run down some of the individuals here. Let's take a look at Denver. They're the winners. David Thompson scored 22 points. He was the most valuable player. 18 points for Bobby Wilkerson. 13 points for Bobby Jones. He was rested well by Larry Brown. He kept a close eye on it. Danny Issel, 9 points, and he was doing a lot of leaning on Bill Walton. He did a lot of good defensive work out there. Went to the muscle. Matt Calvin scored 12. Darnell Hillman, 7. Ralph Simpson, 5. 13 for Anthony Roberts off the bench. Impressive. 2 points for Tommy Lagarde and 2 for Bo Ellis. And now, for the Portland Trail Blazers, Bill Walton had 24. Bobby Gross had 14 and 8 points for Maurice Lucas, who did not play too much. And so, for Keith Erickson, Jimmy the Greek, I'm Brent Musburger saying goodbye from the Portland Coliseum. That final score again is Denver 103, Portland 101. And a reminder, a very big week for CBS Sports. It'll start on Tuesday night, Celebrity Challenge of the Sexes at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Wednesday night, the World Heavyweight Championship fight between Muhammad Ali and Leon Spinks, live from Las Vegas at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I hope you'll be with us. The NBA on CBS is a presentation of CBS Sports.
This is CBS.